Hello everyone. Today, inshallah, we will continue lesson 210 part 2. Lesson 210 part 2. And we are going to talk about tip and sales tax. A tip is an amount of money added to a bill for service. When you went to the restaurant, so we have a tip, and this tip, it will be a percent added to a bill for a service. It is usually a percent of the bill before sales tax is added. Sales tax is a percent of an item's cost. Sales tax and tips are sometimes estimated instead of calculated exactly. So if you want to answer the question directly, so I'm going to estimate the question to make it more easier to answer it. When estimating percents, use percent that you can calculate mentally. To calculate mentally, we have three ways. The first way to calculate 10%, the second way to calculate 1%, the third way to calculate 5%. How we are going to calculate 10% of any number? It's not a secret. 10% of any number, just remove the decimal point 1 digit to the left. 1 point to the left. Then, if I will give you a question, 10% of 125, it will be how many? 10% of 125, it will be how many? I'm going to say again, 10% of 125. So as I said, once you have 10%, move the decimal point 2 digits to the left. Oh my God, I can't see any decimal point in this number, it's 125. No, it's there, but it's invisible. Then we can imagine that I have the decimal point here, so I'm going to move 2 digits to the left, and the answer directly is 1.25. Then to calculate 10%, we will move, we are going to move only 1 digit. It's not 2 digits. It's not 2 digits. The question is 125, I'm looking for 10% of 125. Then we are going to move only 1 place. So this is the decimal point, and I'm going to move it 1 place. So the answer, it will be 12.5. Then, if I would say I have 235, and I want to know 10% of 235, it will be, you said 235. I want the 10%, so it will be 23.5. Okay, if I have 1,932, I want 10% of this number, it will be 193.2. You becomes brilliant. Then 10% of any number, just move the decimal point 1 place to the left. So this is to calculate 10%. What else we want to know? So the second way to calculate 10%. The second way, find 1%. If you want to find 1% of any number, moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. Then, let me give you a question. If I have 125 and I want to find 1%, so it will be 1.25. Why? Because we know that 1%, it will be move 2 places to where? To the left. Okay? Let me give you another question. If you have 372, write the question, please. 372, and I'm looking for 1%. Then 1%, move 2 digits, so the answer, it will be 3.72. Okay? Then to calculate 1%, move 1 point. 10%, move 1 place to the left. 1%, move 2 places to the left. What is the third way? The third way is 5%. So what is the 5%? How we are going to calculate 5%? 5% of a number by finding half of 10%. Then 5% of a number is finding half of 10 of the number. So this is the way which you are going to estimate to calculate the sales tax. Let me give you an example. Lunch at a restaurant is $27.88. Estimate 15% tip. I said before, we have 3 ways to calculate the percent. 10%, 1%, 5%, right? But we didn't say anything about 15%. Do you think with me how we are going to calculate 15%? Yes, I can divide it into 2 parts, 10% and 5%. But also we have something here. He said estimate a 15% tip. Then step 1, first round 27.88 to the closest number which it has 0. So what is the closest number which it has 0 to 27.88? It will be 30. So this is the first one because I want to calculate the answer mentally. Step 2, think 15% of, it's 15% equal 10% plus 5%. Then 10% of 30. Move 1 digit quickly, so it will be $3. 5% means 10 divided by 2. Then I can make what? 3 divided by 2. It will be 1.5. Then I'm going to add them together. We said 15%, it will be 10% plus 5%, so it will be 3 plus 1.5. So the answer, it will be 4.50. So this one, in case if we are looking for 15%, so I said 15%, we can divide it into 2 parts because I want to answer mental. Then 10%, it will be, move 1 digit quickly, so you can calculate this question in just a second. 10% of 30, so it will be 3, move 1 digit to the left. 5%, I'm going to divide the number into 2 parts, so 3 divided by 2, it will be 1.5. Then 3 plus 1.5, so the answer, it will be 4.5. One more question. The sales tax rate is 7.25%. Estimate the sales tax on a box, in a boxery that costs 19.97. First of all, we want to estimate, right? We want to estimate. Then, first round, 7.25, it's close to 7, so it will be 7%. 19.97 is close to 20. The first number, which it has 0, so it will be close to 20. Think 7%. Which one is more easier to calculate? If you want to calculate 7%. 7%, so I can calculate 1% and then multiply by 7, right? How? 1% of 20, 1%, so we have to move 2 digits to the left, so it will be 0.2. Then I'm going to multiply it by 7. Then the answer for the sales tax is about $1.4. Then back to the question again at the top. The sales tax rate is 7.25, so I approximated to be 7, so 7.25 already approximated to be 7. 19.97 approximated or estimated to be 20. Think 7% of, then I can multiply 7 times 1%. 1% from 20, move 2 digits to the left, so it will be 0.2 times 7, so the answer, it will be $1.4. So the sales tax is about 1.4. 6.25% sales tax rate means, what this means? It means that for every $100, because we said, if you want to translate this one into fractional form, so it will be 6.25 over 100. Then a 6.25 sales tax rate means that for every $100 you spend, you would pay $6.25 in sales tax. It's your turn now, my dear students. Estimate 15% tip on check for 21.98. Think, put your plan, and then I'm going to check your answer with you. Take your time. Okay. First, think 15%. I will divide it into two parts, 10% and 5%, 21.98. In 9, this 9, it's raising up, right? So I can estimate this number. It's a 21.98, so I will estimate it into $22. Then $22. I want $10 of 22. Move one digit to the left, so it will be 2.2. So this is 10%. I'm looking for 5%, so I will divide this number divided by 2. Then it will be 2.2 divided by 2. It will be $1.1. The total at the end, $10 plus 5%, it will be 2.2 plus 1.1, so it will be $3.3. The tip should be about $3.3. The last question, estimate the tax on shoes that costs 68.5 when the sales tax rate is 8.25%. Okay. First, round 8.25% to 8 and 68.5 to 70. Someone can say, Ms. Sahar, could I use 69? Okay, but which one is more easier? To work with a number with 0, because we said it's approximately, it will not be accurate. I said estimate. So 68.50 to 70. Now I have 8%. So it's 5 and 10 and 1. Then less than 10, use 1%. Then I'm going to calculate 1%, and by the end I will multiply it by 8. Then 1% of 70, move two digits directly. Then you will multiply by 8, so the answer it will be 5.6. So we got already the amount of 8% from 68.50, so the sales tax is about 5.6. Now this is your lesson quiz. Please, you will make short, screenshot, and then you will solve these questions and you will send it to me in our WhatsApp group. So this is your homework today, plus your workbook, the part in our lesson 210. So please answer these questions and send it to me in our WhatsApp group. And I hope that you understood everything today. Thank you for your watching, and don't hesitate to contact with me if you need any question. Thank you.